There's nothing like a high-tech treasure hunt to get your blood pumping, and in this story, we were lucky enough to go on a guided geocaching mission. You may have walked by or driven over hundreds already and never even known it. That's the best part for thousands of people out there known as geocachers. But what exactly is geocaching?
Geocaching is a high-tech treasure hunt. We use GPSs and the satellites to go out and find boxes that people have hidden in the woods. You get to see a lot of nature. You get a kind of get a peek into someone's head when they want to hide something, exactly what they'll go through and what they'll make you go through to go find something. And when you get to the end, you get a nice little prize, you get to sign a logbook, and you get to say that you were there.
There are all shapes and sizes of these caches, and some are harder to find than others. Brett has found over 2,000 individual caches and says you never know where one might pop up next.
The basic cache is just a box hidden in the woods. That's at the most basic level what a geocache is. Beyond that, there are multi-caches which will take you to several different locations, ending up at a box in the woods. There are mystery caches. Mystery cache, usually there's a puzzle to solve. One way or another, you've got to work out some kind of a puzzle, or you might have to do some compass work and do an offset with it. And then there's virtual caches where there actually is no box, but you're just taken to an interesting spot. You have to learn something. Beyond that, there's a fairly new category called earth caches, which are done in association with the United States Geological Service, I believe, is who does those. And those take you to interesting land formations. It has to be a geological formation of some sort.
For every cache found, there was someone who had to put it out. Terry Widener, a geocacher from the Charleston area, has put out around 40 so far and says there's a certain science involved.
I usually try to put them in a place where geocachers might find them, but where the casual passersby wouldn't find them. Also try to put it in a place that's a little bit unusual, a place where somebody might not get to ordinarily if they were just out walking around. So I try to put them in places that, you know, along a bridge somewhere, along a hiking trail somewhere. Some of the ones I've seen other people do are places like Moonshine and the Hippie Memorial up in Arcola. So just to give people a little bit of a challenge, get them outdoors, get them to a place they've never been before is what I try to do when I'm putting them out.
Geocaching began in 2000 when the government removed selective service availability from global positioning satellites, allowing personal GPS units to become more accurate. Brett says it wasn't long before the hunt was on.
A man in Oregon named Dave Ulmer was part of a GPS enthusiasts news group on the internet, and he went out and hit a bucket in the woods in Oregon. And inside the bucket there was a slingshot, a George of the Jungle DVD, a can of beans, which the can of beans still exists, and I've actually seen it, and also a logbook. And he posted the coordinates on the website, on this news group, and said, go find it, take something out, leave something, and sign the log and tell me about your experience. Within 2 days, it had been found twice, I think. And by the end of the month, there were somewhere in the area of 25 caches hidden in 3 different countries. By the end of June, they were spreading all over the place. And by September that year, they were numbering us in the thousands all over the world. So it just began growing and just took off and really connected. I think it connected with people on a lot of different levels. Sure, you've got the geeks that love the toys, but then you've also got the people that love the woods. You know, you've got the hikers who love it, and then you've just got the people that absolutely think that going out and finding something is fun. You know, it's the people that love to open their own Christmas presents, and you know they're constantly just amazed at finding something. Treasure hunters. You know, I think it connects with us on that level.
Since that first cache, nearly 1 million have been placed all over the world. Terry says finding some can be quite the adventure.
All the caches have a level of difficulty from 1 to 5 in terms of how difficult they are to find, and they all have a level of 1 to 5 on how difficult they are to get to in terms of the terrain. So the 5-5 would be one of the more difficult ones, and I did one of those with my son-in-law and several other people in North Carolina. It involved hanging somebody over the edge of a cliff on a climbing rope to get a little card to see where the next place to go was. Then my son-in-law climbed up a 60-foot chimney outdoors at an abandoned power plant. And finally, we lowered a young lady over the edge of an abandoned bridge on a rope, and then she shinnied across the steel girders to find the cache, whereupon we lowered her into the water where somebody was waiting in hip boots to catch her, along with the geocache, which we then all signed. So there have been some pretty exciting ones.
Both men agree that it's a great activity you can do alone or with family. They say there's something for everyone.
When I go out caching, if they're close and in the city, I often go by myself. My wife is not too keen on caching. My son-in-law and one of my daughters is very keen on doing it, so I've often been out with them when visiting them. But locally, when I go out in the woods somewhere or quite far from home, I usually try to take a friend with me, and I've done that on about a half a dozen occasions where we've spent almost a whole day rooting around out in the country somewhere. I just do it for safety's sake, for company, to help me navigate the roads.
More often than not, I'm on my own when I'm caching. It's kind of my time away. But when I get the opportunity to, I take my kids with me. Gracie loves to go geocaching. She thinks it's a lot of fun. She had to write a report in preschool. She had to draw a picture of her favorite thing, and she drew a picture of her geocaching with her family.
Brett and Terry say getting started is easy. All you need is internet access to geocaching.com and a GPS unit. So what are you waiting for? Get out there and join the hunt. Maybe we'll even see you out there.